The punishment was not for him. That is what makes Isaiah 53 so hard to read without pausing. The man Isaiah describes is wounded, bruised, and afflicted. Yet he is not suffering because of his own wrongdoing. So why is he going through it? And even more importantly, who is he going through it for? Welcome to Scripture Nuggets. Let us stay with Isaiah 53, verses 4 and 5, because these words take us to the heart of what Jesus came to do. Isaiah says, "Surely he hath borne our griefs, and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted." There is something striking about that sentence. Our griefs, our sorrows. He is carrying something that belongs to us. Yet when people looked at him, they thought they were watching a man receiving the punishment he earned. They saw the pain, the wounds, the shame, and thought perhaps God was judging him. But Isaiah says they were seeing it differently from how God intended. Then he says, "But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities." There it is, our transgressions, our iniquities. Isaiah does not say his transgressions or his iniquities. He says ours. Suddenly the pain of this servant becomes something much bigger. He is carrying the weight of someone else's sin. And when you read that through the New Testament, you cannot miss Jesus. The one without sin willingly went to the cross for sinners. Jesus did not need the cross because he had something to fix with God. We did. He did not need forgiveness. We did. And yet he took the spot that belonged to us. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. There is a powerful exchange here. Our transgressions, his wounds, our iniquities, his bruising, our need for peace, his chastisement. And with his stripes we are healed. This is where these words become personal. Most of us know what it feels like to carry something we wish we could undo. A wrong decision, a sinful habit, a word we wish we could take back, a failure nobody else knows about, a memory that still brings shame. Sometimes we try to handle these things by promising ourselves we will do better. But Isaiah points somewhere else. He points us to someone who has already carried the weight we could never remove ourselves. That does not make sin small. It shows how serious sin is. The price was so great that Jesus had to give himself, and it shows how great his love is because he willingly gave himself. Jesus did not accidentally end up on the cross. He came knowing what it would cost, and he chose to bear it for us. That changes the way we look at salvation. Salvation is not God accepting people because they finally became good enough. It is God giving us what we could never provide for ourselves. It is Christ carrying what we could never remove. It is grace meeting us where our own strength runs out. Maybe you are carrying something today that you were never meant to carry alone. Maybe it is guilt, maybe shame, maybe the weight of failure. Isaiah does not tell you to pretend it never happened. He points you to the one who was wounded for our transgressions. There is a big difference between carrying your sin and bringing your sin to Christ. One leaves you crushed under it. The other leads you to the one who paid for it completely. This is why Isaiah 53 is not simply a prophecy about pain. It is an invitation to look at Jesus differently. The wounded one was carrying our wounds. The innocent one was taking the spot of the guilty. The one who had done no wrong was opening the way for sinners to come home to God. That is the beauty of the cross. Not simply that Jesus went through pain, but why he went through it. He did it for us. So when you think about Jesus today, do not only think about the nails, wounds, or pain. Remember what Isaiah tells us was underneath it all. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was carrying something that belonged to us. And because he carried it, we do not have to run from God in shame. We can come to Christ in faith. We can surrender. We can receive His grace. We can follow the one who loved us enough to take our place. For today, carry this one truth with you. He was wounded for our transgressions. The wounds were His, but the reason was us.